Emily Carter had grown used to the sound of silence. After 12-hour shifts at the hospital, she came home to her tiny apartment on the second floor of a brick building on Oak Ridge Street, where no one waited, and no one asked how her day had been. At 27, her life was a cycle of work, solitude, and the occasional phone call with a distant cousin who lived states away. Her parents were gone, her younger brother had moved overseas years ago, and her friendships had slowly thinned out as everyone drifted into marriages in new cities. Yet Emily had never stopped caring. Her patients at St. Mary's Hospital often said she had a gift, a way of looking at people that made them feel truly seen. It was on one of those brisk autumn evenings, while carrying grocery bags up the stairwell, that Emily first noticed him. An elderly man, thin and bent from age, cracked open the door across the hall. His pale blue eyes peered out, watching her with a kind of silent yearning. He nodded slightly, as though wanting to greet her, but quickly disappeared into the shadows before she could respond. Over the next week, she noticed him again. He shuffled down the hallway for his mail, his shoulders stooped under the weight of years. His clothes were clean but old, his steps uncertain. There was something in his quiet presence, a loneliness Emily recognized all too well. That Saturday night, Emily made too much chicken soup, an old recipe her mother used to cook when the weather grew cold. As the scent filled her small kitchen, she paused. Something tugged at her heart. She ladled the soup into a second bowl, covered it with foil, and carried it across the hall. Her knock was gentle. For a moment, there was silence. Then the door opened, and the old man appeared, surprised, as though no one had knocked on his door in years. "I made too much," Emily said, offering the bowl with a shy smile. "Would you like some?" His lips trembled. Slowly, he took the bowl with both hands, as if it were something fragile, precious. "Thank you," he whispered. His voice was hoarse, quiet. I can't remember the last time someone." His words trailed off, but his eyes glistened with gratitude. That night was the beginning. His name was Mr. John Whitmore, a retired schoolteacher who had lived in the building for more than 2 decades. His wife had passed away nearly 10 years ago, and though he had a son, they rarely spoke. Emily didn't press for details, she only listened. Each evening after her shifts, she began knocking on his door with small meals, pasta, sandwiches, sometimes just tea and cookies. Sometimes she stayed for 5 minutes, sometimes an hour. His stories spilled out slowly. About his classroom days, his love for literature, his wife's laugh that used to echo through the very apartment he now lived in silence. For the first time in a long while, Emily didn't feel so alone. Yet, beneath his gentle smile, she sensed something unspoken, something heavy, carried in the way his eyes lingered on the phone that rarely rang. And she had no idea that behind his silence, a secret waited, one that would shake her world in ways she could never have imagined.